Have you ever noticed something strange about money? You can watch hours of finance videos. You can understand how budgeting works. You can know exactly what you should be doing, and still feel like you're barely moving. You wake up one morning, check your bank account, and think, I've learned so much about money, so why does it still feel like I'm stuck in the same place? It's frustrating in a quiet way. Not the kind of frustration where you slam a door, but the kind where you just sit there for a moment, staring at a screen, wondering if something is wrong with you. And if you've ever felt that, you're exactly who this video is for. So before we go any further, just take 1 second. If you want more honest, calm conversations about money like this, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and it makes sure you don't miss the next one. Now here's the part most people never talk about. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not bad with money. You're just dealing with something most people never explain, because knowing about money isn't the same as being able to use it. Most of us grow up believing that financial success is simple. Learn how money works, make better choices, and everything will fall into place. So when it doesn't, we assume the problem must be us. We think maybe we didn't study hard enough. Maybe we didn't watch enough videos. Maybe we just need more discipline. But that belief is quietly misleading because it treats money like a math problem. And money isn't a math problem. Money is emotional. Money is psychological. Money lives inside real human lives filled with stress, fatigue, family pressure, temptation, and fear. You don't make money decisions in a calm, empty room with a calculator. You make them when you're tired after work, when rent is due, when your phone buzzes with another bill, when you just want something that makes you feel okay for a moment. So when someone says, just follow the rules and you'll be fine, they're ignoring the part that actually controls your behavior, the human part. Let me tell you something most finance books never admit. People don't fail financially because they don't know what to do. They fail because knowing and doing live in two completely different parts of the brain. One part of you understands logic. It knows that saving matters. It knows that debt is expensive. It knows that investing early is powerful. But another part of you just wants relief. Relief from stress, relief from pressure, relief from feeling behind. And that part is much louder when you're exhausted. Think about how money actually shows up in your life. It's not numbers on a spreadsheet. It's standing in a grocery store choosing between the cheaper option and the one that feels more comforting. It's deciding whether to go out with friends even though you know you shouldn't. It's opening a bill and feeling your chest tighten. When you're in those moments, your brain isn't thinking about compound interest, it's thinking about survival. So even if you understand money intellectually, your emotional brain can still run the show. That's why someone can know exactly how to get out of debt and still swipe their card. That's why someone can understand investing and still never start. Not because they're dumb, but because they're human. There's a quiet trap a lot of smart people fall into. They keep learning. They read books, they watch videos, they follow financial accounts, and it feels productive. It feels like progress. But learning becomes a way to avoid the discomfort of change, because changing your behavior is scary. Saving money means saying no to things that make you feel good. Investing means risking something you worked hard for. Budgeting means facing numbers you'd rather ignore. So instead of doing, we learn more. We tell ourselves we'll start once we know a little bit more. And months pass, then years, and suddenly you realize you're very informed, but nothing has actually changed. Here's the part that hurts to admit. Most money decisions aren't about money. They're about how you feel about yourself. When you're stressed, you spend. When you're lonely, you spend. When you're bored, you spend. When you feel behind, you spend. Money becomes a way to regulate emotion. A new purchase gives you a brief feeling of control. A delivery gives you something to look forward to. A nicer thing makes you feel like you're doing okay.
just for a moment. And no financial advice video can compete with that feeling unless you understand what's actually happening. Here's the quiet truth that changes everything. Money doesn't need more intelligence. It needs more honesty. Not honesty about numbers, honesty about what you're really using money for. Are you trying to feel safe? Are you trying to feel successful? Are you trying to feel less anxious? Once you see that, something shifts. You stop asking, "What should I do with my money?" and you start asking, "What am I trying to feel right now?" That one question can save you more money than any spreadsheet. Because when you catch the emotional need behind a purchase, you can choose something better. Not more willpower, more awareness. You don't need to become some perfectly disciplined person to get better with money. You just need to slow down enough to notice yourself. When you're about to spend, pause for a few seconds. Not to judge yourself, not to shame yourself, just to ask what you're actually looking for. Sometimes it's comfort, sometimes it's relief, sometimes it's a break from stress, and you can often find that without spending. That doesn't mean never buying anything. It just means you stop using money as emotional medicine. And when you do spend, you do it on purpose, not because you're overwhelmed, but because you've chosen it. That's where real financial peace starts, not in perfection, but in awareness. If you've ever felt behind with money, I want you to hear this. You don't need to be smarter. You need to be kinder to yourself. You're living inside a world that constantly pushes you to spend, compare, and feel like you're not enough. And the fact that you're even thinking about this means you're already ahead. Progress with money doesn't look like massive change. It looks like small moments where you choose differently. A little more awareness, a little more calm, a little more honesty. That's how things slowly get better. Not all at once, but one quiet decision at a time.